In this video, we're going to talk about who Shashindra Rajapaksa is, what exactly he has been accused of doing, how he ended up being arrested, and finally, what happens next. So let's get started. Starting with a little bit of background on Shashindra Rajapaksa. He served as Sri Lanka's Minister of Ports and Highways from May 2019 to July 2022 under President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Prior to this appointment, he served as the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority from November 2018 to May 2019. Shashindra Rajapaksa is a member of the Rajapaksa family and the younger brother of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and given that he served in both of these positions at the same time, some have speculated that he played a role in the controversial East Terminal deal in the port of Colombo. But for now, let's focus on the charges against him. On June 28, 2023, a complaint was lodged with the Bribery or Corruption Commission by one Dhammika Ranatunga. According to the complaint, the then Minister of Ports and Highways, Shashindra Rajapaksa, acting in conspiracy with several other individuals, misappropriated 47 million rupees that was meant to compensate for damages caused to his friend's building in Colombo during the 2022 public uprising. Now, there are two important things to note here. One is that the building in question was not affected by the riots. There is no evidence to support that the building suffered any damage due to the riots. And secondly, even if it did suffer damage, the owner was not entitled to compensation because he had encroached on state land. But despite both of these facts, Shashindra Rajapaksa seems to have conspired with other individuals to secure this payment of 47 million rupees for the owner. On July 25, 2023, the Bribery or Corruption Commission published a statement saying that their investigations into the complaint revealed prima facie evidence of bribery or corruption committed by Shashindra Rajapaksa. The Commission's investigation revealed that the owner of the building had submitted a fraudulent claim for compensation on June 2022, but it was rejected on July 26, 2022 by the Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government. However, despite the rejection, it appears that Shashindra Rajapaksa, who was the Minister of Highways and Ports at the time, intervened in the matter and instructed the additional secretary to the ministry to make the payment of 47 million rupees. Despite the lack of approval from the Cabinet of Ministers and the Director General of the National Building Research Organization confirming that the building had not suffered any damage due to the riots. The payment was made on September 2, 2022, following these revelations. The Bribery or Corruption Commission obtained a warrant from the Colombo Chief Magistrate's Court on August 2, 2023 to arrest Shashindra Rajapaksa and several others involved in this transaction. On August 3, 2023, Shashindra Rajapaksa surrendered to the Criminal Investigations Department of the police. And today, on August 4, 2023, he was produced before the Colombo Chief Magistrate's Court. Now, when he was first produced before the magistrate, the prosecution requested that he be remanded until August 18, 2023. However, the defense counsel objected to this, citing the fact that his fundamental rights could be violated if he were to be remanded, since this was a purely financial dispute and there was no need to keep him in custody. In addition to that, they also pointed out that he was willing to submit his passport to the court and even suggested that he be released on a personal guarantee. They also argued that there were several politicians in the parliament who have cases of corruption and other crimes, but they have never been arrested and remanded. Therefore, their argument went like this: why is it that Shashindra Rajapaksa is being singled out? However, The Chief Magistrate did not accept these arguments and said that even though this was a financial dispute, the allegation here was of conspiracy to defraud the government. She also pointed out that the maximum punishment for this offense was 10 years in prison. Considering this, she decided to remand Shashindra Rajapaksa until August 19, 2023, so that the investigations could be completed. So that is where things stand right now. Now, one thing that I find interesting about this case is the reason why Shashindra Rajapaksa was arrested. Normally, when someone commits an offense against the state can file a case against them in court. And if the person doesn't show up to court hearings, they would issue an arrest warrant. But in this case, the Bribery or Corruption Commission filed a complaint with the Magistrate's court and obtained a warrant to arrest Shashindra Rajapaksa, even though he had not absconded or tried to leave the country. He was in the country all along. Now, the reason why they did this instead of filing a case in court is probably because they want to use the powers that they have under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Section 6 of the Prevention of Corruption Act states that any person who has been found guilty of bribery or corruption shall be liable to be arrested without a warrant by any police officer who has been authorized by the Commission in writing in this behalf. That means the Bribery or Corruption Commission can authorize a police officer to arrest anyone they want if they believe that the person has committed bribery or corruption. And in this case, they believed that Shashindra Rajapaksa had committed bribery or corruption, hence the arrest. Another thing that I find interesting about this case is that Shashindra Rajapaksa was arrested over an incident that happened in 2022. Specifically in June and July 2022. The complaint was lodged in June 2023 and the arrest took place in August 2023, yet the magistrate ordered that he be remanded until August 19, 2023. Usually, when someone is arrested, they are produced in court within 24 hours and the prosecution would ask for a few days of remand. But in this case, Shashindra Rajapaksa was arrested on August 3, 2023. Yet, he was only produced in court today, more than a week later. And the magistrate remanded him until August 19th. This is unusual, and it makes me wonder why they waited so long to produce him in court, and why the long gap between the arrest and the remand. Having said that, the magistrate did the right thing by not granting bail to Shashindra Rajapaksa. He is closely associated with the Rajapaksa family and has already been implicated in several corruption charges. In addition to this case, he is also being investigated for allegedly misappropriating funds allocated for relief camps set up for people displaced during the Easter bombings in 2019. If he is granted bail, there is a high likelihood that he would flee the country or tamper with the evidence. As for the compensation payment of 47 million rupees, the owner of the building is also being investigated. It is not clear whether he will also be arrested. I don't think so because he wasn't directly involved in the conspiracy. Probably Shanawaz's brother would take the fall for him. Nevertheless, this case is a clear example of how the Rajapaksas and their cronies have been involved in corrupt practices for many years now. Even though they lost the election and left office, they continue to be involved in criminal activities, and this case is a prime example of that. With that said, I want to know your thoughts on this latest development. What do you think about the arrest of Shashindra Rajapaksa? And do you think that justice will be served in this case? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.